The Palestine Solidarity Campaign says it has lodged a complaint with the South African Human Rights Commission following the headlining of musician David Scott, the Kiffness, at one of the Kirstenbosch Summer Sunset Concerts in Cape Town. The organisation, along with Mothers for Gaza and other pro-Palestinian groups, have called on the South African National Biodiversity Institute and Kirstenbosch to vet artists and not to provide a platform for views which they allege are non-inclusionary and divisive. Our reporter Vanessa Poonah and video journalist Cerf have more.
A number of pro-Palestinian supporters have gathered outside the Kirstenbosch National Botanical Gardens here in Cape Town. This forms part of a series of protests, and it's about the appearance or headlining of an act at the annual Kirstenbosch Summer Sunset Concerts. The question at the moment is why SANBI has allowed South African artist David Scott, the Kiffness, to perform here on Sunday night. I'm joined now by the Palestine Solidarity Campaign spokesperson, Prof Usuf Chikte. Prof, a very warm good day to you. I understand that there's been a series of dialogues with SANBI as well as Kirstenbosch Gardens on the fact that you were opposed as representatives from PSC as well as Mothers for Gaza, South African Jews for a Free Palestine, etc., about his performance. Tell us why you were opposed to it, and also what happens now that he has performed and that the concert has gone ahead.
Yeah, it's been more since 1994. The apartheid laws in South Africa were supposed to have been abolished, but the legacy still remains. And Kirstenbosch and SANBI, South African National Biodiversity Institute, is still perpetuating a privileged apartheid and promoting apartheid and providing Kirstenbosch a premier heritage site of South Africa as a platform for apartheid, for fascist militia, for apartheid supporting groups who haven't renounced apartheid in South Africa still, and who haven't renounced apartheid in Israel as well, in Palestine as well. So the Islamophobia that he's spewing, and that whole movement is spewing, the racism that they're spewing, the homophobia and the transphobia that they're spewing, it violates our constitution. And SANBI has an institutional responsibility, have a constitutional responsibility to ensure that there is social cohesion in South Africa, that there's nation building, and not this kind of divisiveness which finds its ideological inspiration from Trumpism, which finds its political sustenance from Trumpism. And you'll see from what they are trying to do, the incitement that they're trying to do in South Africa, it focuses on Islamophobia, it focuses on racism, it focuses on an alleged religious, it focuses on the religious strife that they're trying to introduce. And this is compounded now with the appointment of the new U.S. ambassador, who is determined to undermine our sovereignty in terms of our case at the ICJ, and he wants us to abandon that.
Prof, so the concert that you are opposed to went ahead last Sunday. I know that you've had meetings with the Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and the Environment, as well as representatives from SANBI. Going forward, it seems a bit, water under the bridge. The concert has taken place. But what further action, what will be taking place going forward? You say that this issue does not end with your weekly protest here at Kirstenbosch.
Yeah, the protest, the concert, it's actually a festival of apartheid that took place here. And we met with the Minister Outcome from Forestry, Environmental Affairs and Fisheries, and we told him that we established that there are no vetting criteria for performers to come here, so they can have anybody and everybody spewing whatever they want in defiance of the Constitution, and they have undertaken to examine the vetting criteria for musicians who are going to participate in here. They refused. The minister met with Kiffness before, and it seems as if there's a very cordial relationship between the two. He has offered us he told us we can go to the courts and we can use other instruments, which we have done. We have gone to the South African Human Rights Council. We've gone to the Commission for Cultural and Religious activities, and we've appealed to them, we've lodged complaints against them. We've also written to the President for the failure of this Minister Outcome, in terms of not abiding by the Constitution, in not providing stewardship in South Africa when it comes to nation building, and failing in his institutional efforts to transform this place. This place, built by Jan van Riebeeck, has an almond hedge, and he seems to be intent on consolidating and entrenching that almond hedge to keep most of the South Africans out of this place, and to make this place, make apartheid great again in South Africa.
Until when will you have your protests here at Kirstenbosch?
We will use every means that we have legally, and we will do it as long as we need to have an apartheid-free zone in this part of the world.
Prof Chikte, thank you so much for your time. Of course, the Professor Usuf Chikte, spokesperson for the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, speaking to us outside Kirstenbosch National Botanical Gardens. Of course, this as a number of representatives from various pro-Palestinian supporters have gathered, gathering here today after a concert which took place as part of the annual Kirstenbosch Summer Sunset Concerts, headlining the Kiffness, David Scott, of course, a South African artist who, according to the PSC and others, has allegedly spewed racist vitriol, and saying that this national or this public space should not be used as a platform for such.